Good afternoon, my MVP family. Good afternoon. This is your girl, Miss Bev, returning with yet another video. And this video, I'm on lunch. Just finished my lunch, and so I was just here. Literally, I was actually grading work from my last class. But at lunch, I usually pick up my phone and I'm looking through, and what caught my eye was a video from Jamaica Newfie. More blessings, sir. And as I listened to him, it started bringing up some feelings from when I was in Jamaica, or when I just left Jamaica after a year being there, and I was talking about the situations in Jamaica. You go home, yes, and it's a good feeling to be home, and all of that, the food, the warmth, things like those. But once I start talking about the reality of what is going on down there and reasons why I left Jamaica, because I didn't put down Jamaica and say I left because I said I came back to America because of my family. Family for me is important. And so I left and I came back here. One of the things I talk about was I talk about the two sides of the healthcare system in Jamaica, because the Chinese are building a new hospital in St. Catherine, in Spanish Town. They call it the big innovation. It's a whole modernized thing that they're going to bring in there, but it will take time to get that done. I spoke about the other places that have gotten a facelift, and I also spoke about projects that has been taken for a long time to get done. So today, Mr. Newfie, he mentioned about Pappy. I watched the videos with Pappy and the new baby. I was following them before that. I follow in the background. I followed him unboxing support from many subscribers. Hats off to all those subscribers. And the photo shoot, the reveal, all of those I've been following. But once the baby came, I became visible. Because I really appreciate him as a human being, the way he cares about the mother, the woman who gave birth to his firstborn, and also just how he's attentive, his willingness to support. And as I said, it seems genuine. It doesn't seem like it's just a panning to the camera. It just seems like it's coming from a good place. And I prayed and I hope that it will continue. The concern Mr. Newfie had, and he spoke about it, was the inability for him to be in the room with the mother of his child during that tough time. And so I had to really, in America, Mr. Newfie, we have all the facilities, the government, but we have to remember how it is in Jamaica, that the healthcare system, nobody bothered with it. And I tell you why they don't bother with it. Because regardless of all these people returning home, they return home not to help build infrastructure in Jamaica, because as some of them in my comments, when they dogged me out about me talking the real truth about how Jamaica is in the healthcare system and different things, they tell me I wasn't prepared to go home. They said I could have flown to Florida like other people do and get health care. And so that's the mindset of those going home. When I said we, as returning residents, we can contribute, we can help to build. We know all of the corruption that happens in Jamaica, that a lot of monies that need to go into places where they need to go end up in people's pockets, because everybody will take a price, will take money for something, and that money, instead of it going back to help build, to recycle in the system to build, that it goes into people's pocket to build for themselves to maintain their large homes. I don't envy anybody of their large homes. But I said, if the monies, when tickets are written, instead of policemen saying, give them options, said, you know, if you pay X amount, me not give you the ticket. And people willing to pay the amount instead of paying for the ticket and let the money go back in the infrastructure to help build the schools, the hospital system, and the roads. We would have a different life out there. If those people coming home was paying their fair share when they get to the customs office, the people weren't there willing to take 100,000 to look the other way while them bringing all them something that should have been taxed. It would be a different thing. But everybody is willing to take a bribe, and so the country is drained. There's nothing. And what's left, the politicians, everybody fattening the pockets, and then teachers are crying out for better pay. Nurses are running away, everybody running away because they're not getting the right pay. So hospitals, when you go to a hospital, you have to sit there in a chair all night. Foot them swell up, ready for bus, because there's no bed. What do you think they're going to have? What do you think? One hospital room has, like, what, 3? If you looked, there was a picture there that Pappy showed where he talked about the young lady who was rubbing his baby Pinky's back. There was a bed almost near on Pinky's bed. So you can imagine that in that one room, there may be 4 beds in that one room for the people when they have the babies. So where in there would they allow anybody to come in? It's different. It's different. When my daughter-in-law had Grayson, of course my son was right there. My son, he had a bed next to hers in that room. You know. So unless people have money to get private rooms, I don't even know if they have that how that works in Jamaica, you know. But I am sure that everybody who go in them hospital room, it's the reality that, you know, my heart ached when Pappy said he was trying to put, you know, and Pinky looked up and saw him trying to. It's not easy, and that is why I said, people, you know, if we come together, I know it's a tough thing. That is the reality in my head, the thoughts in my head, but that's not the reality. Because even if you send funding to help anything down there, again, it gone to somebody's pocket and nothing changed. So it will take a lot, Mr. Newfie, Mr. Jamaican Newfie. It will take a whole lot to redesign and to come up with anything like this, because the hospitals, I don't think they have enough hospitals, and they're not maintained so that people can have family members with them. It's a good thing to have your back rubbed during that time, because let me tell you, the pain is not easy. It's a good thing to have someone to just hold their hand. I remember telling the nurse, don't leave, just stay there. And I'm not even understanding that she has work to do. But I was just so nervous. I was begging for them to stay until somebody came in there for me. So it's different in Jamaica, and it's different because people who are returning are all into themselves. It's about what they have, you know, them work hard, them build, and them buy them house, and them live them. Don't stop to think, because as people said, they can leave Jamaica and go abroad and get them health care and go back home. Them don't need the hospital system in Jamaica. But I disagree that, you know, it shouldn't be so. We come home and we're taking, but yet we're not giving back anything at all. You go to tax office, nobody, you know, them find somebody somebody need to get so and somebody is willing to take that 200,000. I know somebody, when she wanted to get a title, the title, something was on it or whatever, and she wanted a new title. And let me tell you something. Somebody from the tax office came out and was offered, said, she 250,000 Jamaican, because she have to pay someone if you go a town with it and if you go get it stamped and if you come back to her. 250,000. She found a person who took less, um, than that. But this is the reality in Jamaica. That's the reality. That money that should go in the system to help, they sit there and they're paying off somebody to go get it done because what? It take too long, Jamaica to get things done. So you're always going to find it taking long because the longer they take and the more money them going to get in their pocket because people go and pay in order to get them stuff quicker. And so if them hurry and process things, then them not going to have no money to get. So that's the reality of Jamaica. The corruption takes away so much from the country that what you have is what you have. Hospitals that are not going to be able to include families to support, it's going to be the same old-fashioned thing from way back when, where you go in there, 4 are only in the one room away. When the baby ready to come, them take them into another room, have the baby come back in another space, and that is it. So as much as you'd want your back rub and you'd want this or you'd want that, if you're not going there with the, if you have the money, probably you get a private room and maybe somebody in there with you. But the reality, no, sir. The reality is that that's what Jamaica is, that's what they have to offer, and that's what people are going to get. So no matter state of the art hospital that China is going to bring into Spanish Town, that one hospital is not going to be the end all for anything because what happened to the other places, So that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is, where we don't have the resources for things like those. And but we give thanks. We just have to give thanks, and we have to just, like the other people do, know that's what they have, and they go in and they don't make a fuss. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you, Pappy, for going in, accepting what they had to offer, and accepting what they had to offer, and just be satisfied with it. Don't make a fuss. Just what is there, and so you go in and do what you have to do, and be grateful to God that she came out with a healthy, bouncing baby boy, and that is it. So we can stay here in our developed countries and say all what we have to say. My take on it was that we need to give back. We need to help rebuild Jamaica. We need to, if we're planning to go back there to retire, we need to be present in what's going on, and we need to do our little part as well. If they don't have beds for sick people down there, they're definitely not going to give no bed to have no spouse or parent in a room with nobody. Because there's too many people, 4 beds in a one room, 4 pregnant mother lay down there. How it going to be? How you going to get to? Not going to happen. And I'm going to bring in when she baby ready for come. And as the one come out, somebody else ready for take the bed. Not going to happen. They don't have that luxury down there. So I wouldn't think of it. I never thought of it like that at all. I just know from experience that down there needs a lot of rebuilding. Whole lot. So the thing go. We just have to give God the glory and keep it moving. We wish it was different, but I call it still a developing. Jamaica is still developing, and quite a few people dog me out and developing. Jamaica had this and Jamaica have that. Big house I build up this and that and go on. And they don't understand that it's not about the big house, but it's about how much we owe IMF. It's about how much we owe other countries. It's about so much more than just big house building up. Because people are looking at big house and think that is progress when you have people still that they can't find food to eat. But them just looks a big house and build up, and everybody are coming and build up big house. Them hip hop community, whatever them building up out there, them soon become ghost town. Because you have people running home, as I said, and so many are going home, and yet the healthcare system needs fixing. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed. So you're going home and you're building all these things, but you're not building up facilities to maintain, to support. You're not putting in a second fire department, fire engine or something. You're not putting in nothing. You just build up the big house them and them collect their mortgage and them go about them business. So people going home and think it's easy. It's not that easy. And they look at people and we don't understand and we don't know, but we'll put people down and think, oh, you wasn't ready. I was not jumping into buying a house in Jamaica and then I'll be back here right now. What would I be doing? I'm here looking for a condominium or something else, and yet I'll be paying mortgage in Jamaica. How dumb that would be. How dumb that would be. You think it's easy to be living in America, maintaining home here in Jamaica, here, and then maintain a house in Jamaica, getting the yard cut, making sure this and that are going, making. So sometimes we don't think, we just think, me have my money. I may have enough, I can go pay down and get a mortgage. It's not that easy. So we just have to think. Things have to get in place. The clinics, them say no, them are going to give nurses the right to write prescription. My God. Why? Where we're going to give nurses that power? Only in Jamaica. Because everybody jumping ship. The people coming in there, they're not vetting them. So we don't even know what we're getting for medical doctors down there. Because everybody are just money talk and bullcrap walk. If you have the money, then you can buy one license. You have the money, yeah, you can set up nice infrastructure, get nice buildings, set it up nice, and put up sign and fool people and then come down there, nothing. Them now have to, if you check out them background, you're frightened. But that's the reality in Jamaica. And so people cuss you out and say this and that. But you were there. I was there. I spent a whole year. I was there. I see people laying down on bed with a sheet on it. She stayed and lay down there half naked. Half naked. And that's the reality. I went down there, I see people, the space that them have to deal with accidents coming with broken bones or gunshots. No bandages, no nothing. The little bit of tape, the lady sit down that reel it, put it on the something. That is just if something come in, for wrap it and put the piece of tape on it. I saw when Colin Smith took the guy in, and I watched the whole video to see even him made a comment about the hospital system down there. Kind of easy. Even him make a comment. So people are living down there, yeah, there's a lot to enjoy if you. But for me going back down there, I wasn't living big, I wasn't living regular. I'm not a person who is fancy, so I wasn't overdoing. But people still think, oh, you go down there and you try to show up, and they don't even know me. They don't know me. I lived in a nice place, yes, but it wasn't no fancy nothing, because I didn't ship a darn thing down there. I went home to see if I could have managed. I went home to see, and thank God, I went home first and rented, because see me back in the classroom. A different setting, a nicer setting, but I'm back in the classroom. I'm here every morning at 7:30. So I might be older, but I still have something to offer. So as we go, guys, and we look, as they've always said, you can't compete, you can't compare America with Jamaica, because Jamaica is way down on the totem pole. If you have money, that's what talks. When you don't have money, you have to deal with the little bit that them offer. And so we stay and we're realistic. And that's what keeps the sanity, because we are realistic. We are not sitting down and getting carried away and getting frustrated over things we can't change. Don't get frustrated over what you can't change. You appreciate it, you make the best of it, and you keep moving. Thank you to Pappy and Pinky for staying focused. Don't make those things stress you. And thank God to that lady. Thank you, Pappy, for giving a shout out to the lady who rubbed Pinky's back on your behalf. That's God providing your blessings, son. That's how God provides your blessings. You know you can't be in there. There's no um there's nothing in place for that. But he provided somebody. And I just pray and hope that that young lady, that somebody will be there for her when her time comes as well. So I just had to speak on that video, Mr. Jamaica Newfie, because I know how it is in America, but Jamaica, I don't say how that ever happen in for long time to come, unless some miracle happen. But the resources are just not there. There's just too much to get done before they could ever get to that point. It's gonna be that way. 6 of them in a one big old space, and as them get ready for have the baby, them get hauled off into a room, and then push out the baby and come back in that big space, come chill until it's time to go home. Can be good, be careful what good do good, and what all the Jamaicans up here for do is to, again, you can't even trust people, so that's the thing with the contributions. Because you send contribution down and you go in somebody's pocket. And so nobody wants to really do what needs to be done. But it's just what it is. Take it easy.